welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, aka Tony, here with my co-hosts and friends in the building. Got my dog DJ Doughy Fresh on the ones and twos.
New gang?
What gang? Mute gang?
I don't know what he said. He's a
Mute.
okay. Yo, what's up with this man? Also in the building.
Start over.
Nah, we rolling, boy. That was hilarious. Also in the building, the bald one, the great one, Pucho.
What's going on, my brother?
Everything's good besides Doughboy choking his life away. He can't. Gang? This man, terrible. It's not like cost shirt.
I was gonna say I like that shirt. It reminds me of Burger King for some reason. I don't know what about that shirt is reminding me about Burger King. It looks like two burger, like a hamburger, like Lacoste is the patty. I don't know. Something about that. Isn't the Burger King logo like a burger?
Yeah, with like a blue line in between, I think, or some shit like that.
The best fast food that exists in the world, okay? Said no one ever. Burger King is just the absolute worst. Except in the movie The Terminal. You guys watched The Terminal with Tom Hanks? Yo, that guy was buying them Whoppers. Yo, that movie always makes me want to go buy Whoppers.
Same.
Then when you eat it, you're like, ugh.
Why did I buy this Whopper?
And the Whopper's the most sloppiest burger of all fast food restaurants. It's a slop. You will get
I like
ketchup
how
on your shirt.
them Whoppers used to be girthy. You compare a Whopper to like a Big Mac, a Big Mac ain't nothing, bro.
Ain't nothing to it.
That Whopper was wide.
I like
I
their
wanted the
Italian chicken sandwich.
from Burger King.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
This man got bad taste. You got bad food
Bad
takes.
take.
Shit was delish.
You know what? Burger King succeeds every time against, other than Chick-fil-A. They succeed in the breakfast menu. Their breakfast, their croissant, which is what they call them, are phenomenal.
Better than McDonald's?
Hell yeah, way better than McDonald's, bro.
I
McDonald's
find it
is
absurd that anybody's going to a fast food place for breakfast. That's
it's just
absurd.
if you had to do a quickie on a
If you
trip
had
or something,
to, Pooch, where would
if
you
you
go?
had to,
I just don't eat breakfast like that. I think breakfast food is whack.
So much fun.
So I'm just like, why is anybody going out to get breakfast?
Man,
Like,
can
I
indulge in
get
the
you go to a
conversation.
restaurant to get breakfast, but it's like you're so fiended out for breakfast, you get a McDonald's sandwich. It's like that. Like that just sounds terrible.
no one
to
ever
me.
says that. You go to Burger King or Chick-fil-A, the best
What do you
fast
mean?
food
McDonald's
breakfast.
breakfast is like the most popular breakfast in the country.
Suckers. Only suckers think
Suckers.
that. Yeah. I'm
I love
telling
it. You
you.
changed the whole argument. Nobody says that. It's the most popular. Now it's only suckers like it.
Bro, because you, all right. Next time I go up there, I'm going to bring a Burger King breakfast and a McDonald's breakfast sandwich. And I'm telling you, you're going to like the Burger King breakfast sandwich. It's 100% fact.
Sure, I wasn't speaking
Better than this
quality.
guy with Italian chicken from fucking McDonald's, bro. Like,
He
weird.
said Burger King.
Burger
Burger
King's
King, my
Italian
bad.
chicken sandwich.
Said no one, bro. That's trash. Where do you come up with these food takes? I mean, just as bad as my
I
examples.
remember back in the day, Burger King had a chicken sandwich. Is it the long one that's like on the long bread?
Exactly.
Yeah, that sandwich was decent. I haven't had it since like 2006. Okay, it's been almost 20 years since I had that sandwich. So maybe it ain't good. But I remember back then, Randy. Okay, Randy came home from Burger King one day and he gave me half a sandwich. I was like, "This is incredible! What is this?" So yeah, I remember liking that sandwich.
Out of all people, Randy to come home with a Burger King.
I don't know.
sandwich.
I don't know. Randy always used to share food with me all the time. I always appreciate
It's a
that.
cool person.
Have you met Randy?
He's like the older dude who used to come around. He always used to bring food, give me donuts, give me half a sandwich, things like that. I always appreciate it.
I don't know Randy. I'm pretty sure I've met Randy. But I don't know him like on a personal level. That doesn't
Nah, he's
matter.
a good guy for sure.
He got me into boxing too. I love Randy.
Damn, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, back in the day when I've always liked boxing, so I wouldn't say that he got me into boxing, but he has started going to a boxing gym, and then me and Ray started going to the boxing gym with him. So it's like if he hadn't ever gone to the boxing gym, I don't know how it would have played out that I've ever would have started boxing. So props to Randy for that one.
That's fire.
Damn, shots to Randy for real. Did you guys have you guys been keeping up with basketball at all?
The play-ins, I saw that Lakers won with the Timberwolves in the overtime. I watched that game at the bar, and everyone was going crazy.
Bunch of Laker fans now. It just makes me sick. Sorry for the Knicks not making it, guys.
The Knicks didn't make it?
Sorry.
Tony doesn't know what he's talking about.
I thought the Knicks were in. Like,
Yeah,
for
what are you
sure.
even talking about, Tony?
We're talking about the play-ins.
I'm trying to say they're non-existent. Even though they're in there, they're non-existent. They ain't gonna do shit.
Tony just didn't
Talking
know what he
shit.
was talking about. He
Oh,
just realized
my God.
Knicks are like 5th seed right now in the East.
They ain't gonna do shit though. Is what I'm getting
That's
at.
fine.
That's
They're
what,
non-existent.
They're gonna do better than the Celtics.
No, they
You'll
won't.
see. You will see.
There's a gambling hotline you need to go see because it sounds like you're trying to
Yeah,
make a
I will
bet.
put money on that. Because if I win, yeah, I'll put $10. I'll probably win like $100. It's a horrible bet. It's one of the worst bets you can make. The Knicks are gonna do better than the Celtics is a terrible bet, but I'll take it.
So the reason why I kind of brought up the NBA talk is mostly because of I was just talking to Pucho about it off pod that the Mavs are getting fined $750,000 because they're resting players.
which means they're not letting their stars play.
Pretty much like key players play.
So the games upcoming to these were like really boring or something. I don't get what's the issue.
Well, I don't really know the exact rule. Actually, I'm gonna Google it, but the exact rule is you're not, if the player can play, you can't rest them on purpose. If that makes any sense. I think it doesn't, because you should, like, you can bench players or want to rest them because they're exhausted. Like, I don't think you should get fined for that.
What if they play them for 1 minute? Is that enough?
Nah, I think they'll still try to find you. I mean, I get it from a perspective, right? Like, what they're trying to do is basically like, the NBA is a business. They're trying to make money. Nobody's gonna want to tune into these games if none of the stars are playing.
Yep.
So before the playoffs, when all these teams are trying to rest their players so that they could go into the playoffs with a lot of energy, they're also hurting the NBA because now the games are just not that interesting. So, like, I get it. But I'm just like, let the teams... That sounds like you're trying to... You have a problem in the league. There's probably a different solution to it than fining somebody. You need to change up something so that this isn't a thing. Like, make it so that the last couple games, whoever wins, like, gets home court advantage, or like raise the stakes. Like, do something else. Like, force the teams to want to do this. Don't... I don't know, like that. It just seems silly, and then it's like it ruins all the other stuff. Like the Sixers sat Joel Embiid for like 3 seasons or something absurd like that. Like, they got this guy traded, right, and then they were trying to build a team around this guy. They just had horrible season after horrible season in order to get high draft picks, in order to get more players. So they ended up landing like Ben Simmons with Joel Embiid, with like 1 or 2 other like kind of role players. And that's how the Sixers kind of went from one of the worst teams in the league to being like a good team. And I'm like, what would the resting policy would have been like then? Like maybe that's why they instituted these types of things. I'm just like, these other teams had an advantage of being able to like take advantage of a rule like a non-existent rule. Now there's a rule. It's kind of like, oh, that's kind of whack. Like, I don't know.
They call it load management. So what it is almost exactly what Pucho said. During regular season games, they'll rest key players when it comes to like national TV games that they have to, like, they're coming up before the playoffs or whatever, towards the end of the season, like Celtics versus Knicks or something, or Lakers versus Clippers or whatever, big games, and they arrest key players, and then many fans want them to actually participate, to come out, so pretty much for the fans to buy tickets to come out to see LeBron play, but they're going to just set him out the whole game.
That's one of the most biggest complaints I've ever heard as a non-sports person, is that a person has gone to a game, but none of the stars play. And that's what they end up saying. Like, nah, man, LeBron didn't even play that game. It was whack.
Like the biggest one was Kawhi Leonard sat out for most of the fucking season for a weird injury. Never really specify what happened. And that was one of the things that they were like, okay, this is like a load management thing. We need to nip it in the butt. So it's crazy too, though. I mean, I get it though.
He had the one season where he just told the Spurs, like, I'm just not gonna play until you guys trade me. And he just sat for like a season and a half, and they were like, all right, screw it, we're trading this guy. Like,
damn.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were able to do that.
Yeah, I don't really know if they are really able. I don't know if he was getting fined. I don't remember the details. I just know it was a huge thing. He's like one of the best players in the NBA, just refusing to play the game. And I think he might have been like, oh, my back hurts. Or like he probably had some BS like excuse like that. But really it was pretty clear. Like, I'm not playing until y'all trade me. And then he went to the Raptors and then won a championship. So I'm sure the Spurs were pissed off. They were like, dude, you could have played for us and done good. I don't know.
They said that teams will be fined at least $100,000 for breaking national TV protocol after it's been investigated and all that.
That's a big, this is the main reason.
Yeah. But it happens, though. LeBron did it, for the 21 season, 2020-21 campaign or whatever.
How much do you care about TV?
Well,
if
like the
TV
games?
if TV just disappeared, like cable and shit like that, and it was just Netflix was left.
I mean, that's all I do now. It's not gonna bother me now. Like, who watches cable now? Regular cable, like old people, like your parents, probably.
How much of NBA is being streamed on like illegal devices instead of they tried to resist so much that then they had to make their own apps and shit like that you could pay to watch on the apps. It's weird.
Yeah, they do the YouTube. They do the NBA Pass, right?
Now they have places you could watch it online.
Hulu?
Yeah. But I don't know if you remember before, they were like going super hard. No, you can't stream it. No. And it's like, yeah, you can, but you guys don't want to do it.
I don't know what I want. I just know that I don't like how it was before, and I don't like how things are now. Like, before, you had to pay cable, which was like stupid expensive. The only way that it was affordable was to get these ridiculous bundles, and then it wasn't affordable because you just had so many things. And then now it's like, all right, cool. Sign up for my subscription. Now you need 17 subscriptions to see things, and it's like, all right, I'm still paying mad guap. I'm sure if you add up all the $15 subscriptions I got,
Peacock, HBO Max, Netflix, Paramount, fucking Discovery Plus, fucking
my favorite one is
Furry.net XX.
I never heard of that one, but okay. My favorite one is the home line. They give you a home phone. Like a landline in your house. I said home line. I said fucking home line.
I got a landline once. I never hooked it up. It stood in the box for the 3 years I had service with this company. I was just like, fuck it.
Can you remember the last time you used one?
A landline? I don't know.
Yo, all you get is telemarketers that call you. It's the craziest shit. That's
all I get is telemarketers calling me now on my cell phone. Like, they found a way. The cell phone was the saving grace. You got away from the telemarketer, but now they're back, baby. All I see now is scam likely. Or like what
somebody
is this?
texting you, hello, how are you?
Matter of fact, I think the last time I've seen anyone
on
use
WhatsApp,
it,
it'd be crazy. It'd be like, hey Peter, how it's been a long time. I'm like, who's Peter? Like, where are they getting this from? Like delete.
Oh
that's
man,
hilarious. Nah, I definitely. I think the last time I've seen anyone use is Pucho's mom at her house. That's the last time I've ever seen
Cable?
anyone use a house phone.
Oh, a house phone. Like my grandma has a house phone.
Look at this one.
Grandma.
I got hit with a scam one, right? From WhatsApp. It says, "Hi, my name is 7888969. We haven't been in touch for a long time. I don't know if you can still remember me, so I sent you a photo of me now. I miss you very much. How have you been recently? I changed to a new WhatsApp account. Hope you can add my WhatsApp. Click here. Word. Click." Like, the fuck out.
Yo,
Like,
there was a guy on my Facebook. We'll just call him. I can't. Yeah, we'll call him Tom. And he would always get catfished. And it was very clear that he was getting catfished to the entire rest of the Facebook. And we would try to warn him. We'd say, Tom, this is not a real person. You're giving all your information to him. He says, no, I love Sophia. She's my wife and she'd never do that to me. And he didn't know who Sophia was. Sophia was just some dude getting all his information.
damn.
I had
Who's
to
the person's
delete
name?
Tom. I had to delete him.
I wish I
Do I
knew
know
this.
Tom?
You know Tom.
Oh man,
Do
this
I
is
know
awesome.
Tom?
I
You
remember
probably
seeing
know
this.
Tom.
I remember seeing
middle
this on
school.
Facebook. Somebody getting catfish repeatedly, but I don't remember who it is.
It was like 2 or 3 times a year, and it's like
No.
so much. Yeah,
He'd be looking at all those recommended accounts.
Yeah.
He'd be like, ooh.
those fresh
Nah,
pages.
bro, I had a friend from junior high school that I don't know why I just like look for this person randomly, and this dude is like 28. He's dating like a 60-year-old lady, and I'm like, it just looks so bizarre. He's so young and handsome, and I'm like, this is so strange to me. Like, you know, more power to anybody who wants to date outside of the typical age ranges. I ain't hating on nobody. It just seemed bizarre to me, and it felt like a catfish, but in real life. Like, I was seeing the pictures. I wanted to tell him, you're getting catfish, man. But like, you know, I don't know. I had the same feeling, but obviously it makes no sense. He's obviously met her. And I'm just like, what is this? I remember his parents. I'm like, what is his parents must think he is bugging. Like,
Yeah, man. I've heard of MILF hunters. I've never heard of GILF hunters. All right, that's a new one. He's a GILF hunter.
GILF Hunter's not that bad. I don't think GILF's that bad either.
and they're taking pictures like teenagers, like
oh.
mad funny poses and like, and then she just looks so old. I'm like, again, more power to him. I'm not hating. It just seemed bizarre to me. It's so uncommon. I'm just not used to it. I didn't even add them. I was like, this is too weird. I don't want this on my feed. I'm not adding this person.
Would it be more weird if the sexes were reversed?
Of course.
Like if it was a dude,
yeah, of course.
old ass dude,
What a young
versus.
yeah.
I mean, we won't laugh at
I mean,
it. I guess.
if it was a girl that I knew from junior high school, I would find it equally weird. But I think in general, like a sugar daddy is more common than
a sugar mama
or whatever. Like,
How do you feel about the people who say age ain't nothing but a number?
R. Kelly
like
comes to
pedophilia.
mind. R. Kelly just comes to mind.
What about the older people trying to act younger? What about that? You meet an older person and they're clearly just more energetic than your older person.
I'm not gonna lie. There's an OG triple OG guy. He's old, but he has some swag. He's all over TikTok. I think we've all seen him. Dude be wearing name brand clothing, but be pulling it off. This old guy and his girl and his wife too. They be Montclair's, Supreme, Travis Scott's with bro. I'm like, damn, this dude's got swag for an old guy. Fresh. Do I think he's going out to bars and saying let's hit a chug or whatever the hell you call it. Nah, I don't see that, but it's almost like your mom trying to be cool with your friends.
Oh, it's the worst.
Those are the
I
worst.
grew up with a couple of people like I have a few people like that in my family, that the moms are trying to be cool, and I've found it weird since I was a child. I'm like, this is a person who's been stuck in a perpetual midlife crisis for my entire life. I'm like, this is weird. You're best friends with your sons, like that. It just feels strange.
Same thing happened to me. I was 15 or 14. We went to a party where there was going to be alcohol, so everyone was excited that was going. And turns out like his mom was there with us the entire time, drinking with us, and it was just so weird. There were other times where I had people's moms cop me like OEs, like big ass pints of OEs and shit like that. But she wouldn't like start to get fucked up with us. She'd be with the older people in the room. Like, you know what I mean? It was never like, we're gonna drink together now. It was super weird in that text. Like,
I know moms that were hanging out like that were like getting ripped. They were smoking with people all time, just chilling. I'm like, this is strange. It's like, but I'm like, whatever.
I mean,
that's your mama. I ain't policing this.
I've seen it happen too.
It looked like she was lurking. All right, like she was trying to find a young man to get up in that, and I was like,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, shout out.
Yeah, there is. We're all underage.
Wrong with that.
We're all
Tons.
kids.
Oh, you're saying like
Tons.
y'all were teenagers.
Yes, I was 15.
Oh.
I wasn't ready to be drinking. I mean, I was drinking because I felt like I was ready, but technically I wasn't of age.
Man was smoking weed since he was like 2 years old. What the fuck?
It's nothing to brag about. I was smoking since I was 12, and
I was being exaggerating. I was exaggerating on the 2 years old. Obviously, I'm just saying like alcohol is whatever. But I don't think
the gateway drug. Okay, Tony. You don't remember D.A.R.E?
That shit with the fucking lion.
Yeah, that shit made it so lame to not do drugs.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't do drugs.
It was interesting. They would bring mad drugs to school. Be like, look, kids, this is crack. Look at this. This is cocaine. Look at this. I remember one time, I'm not even gonna say who because it might be embarrassed. But one of my good friends, they sniffed the hell out of something that they brought in. The dude he said he got a headache like crazy. Like, boom, he just got hit with a high and he was ruined for the whole weekend. I'm like, bro, these D.A.R.E people just destroyed my friend. They probably got this guy hooked on drugs for the rest of his life. Like, I'm like, this is crazy. They didn't know what they were doing.
They said us were bringing actual crack rocks into classrooms.
Yo, back then it was the Wild West in school, bro.
I wonder if this only happened in the ghetto. like you're thinking those all them white schools that were bringing crack rocks saying, yo, this is crack. The crack is whack.
I think you were able to sniff it, to smell it. That's beast.
Smell it.
That's crazy. Yeah, times is very different now. Like, that shit would not fly. But I do have an interesting first topic here for you boys. Top reasons why people become unhappy or toxic in a relationship. Doughboy, lead me into the righteous way of this conversation.
I think a lot of people aren't realistic about their expectations in relationships, and they begin them and they don't really know what they want out of this relationship. And I think things can go, any way if that. And if you're not like talking to the person that you're with and you're not like receptive to, a lot of people don't let people know when things bother them. And then they'll just hold it inside and just like hope that they can continue to be this cool guy. Oh no, that don't bother me. Nah, it doesn't bother me. And it actually bothers you a lot. Like, you got to be able to be receptive, because that quickly will turn into something, you know what I mean? It could turn into something, that has your relationship fall into a place where you don't want it to be.
So you're saying that when you're unhappy, that leads you to be toxic, or is toxic its own beast in the relationship? Because I think people come into relationships just toxic as hell. Some people love the toxicity. They love it. I mean,
those people you got to be
personally don't.
very, very careful with, because it's like a self-sabotage kind of thing. They're like going with people that are clearly not, you know what I mean, gonna benefit them. And that sounds weird, right? People that benefit you. But I feel like there's no other
All
way to
relationships.
describe it. You know what I mean? When you are searching for a partner, you're searching for somebody that's gonna enhance you. It's gonna be you and them against the world, kind of. And if that person is already flawed from the get, you kind of got to either. I don't really believe in fixing someone. Fixing someone is so hard. Like, it just is. Getting someone to realize that they're broken in any way, or if they have some sort of they're falling short in some sort of way, it's hard, man, to get people to actually realize and like wake up to that fact. A lot of people are just very happy going along with their life as is. So some people, you just leave them alone.
I wouldn't. I agree to it. But
I said
think
a lot.
anyone can change, though. I know you did. I'm trying
I said a
to.
lot.
The first part, though, you not wanting to try to help them change. I think if you love somebody, you should at least try.
For sure.
You know.
But it's like one of the most
Hardest.
trying to fix people is one of the most toxic traits you could have. But aside from it being toxic, it's also one of the most frustrating experiences you could have, is trying to fix somebody. Like, especially if that person's saying, "Oh, I want to be fixed," or "help me get better," blah blah blah. That's still it could be a horrible experience. Trying to get people to break habits, trying to get people to do things. Everybody says they want to change. As soon as you start, you've seen it. Everybody got in their little workout kick. People started, "Oh, did you work out today?" Everybody's getting defensive about working, and it's like everybody agreed to wanting to work out, and as soon as you start asking people if they worked out, that people are whipping out the Slavic defenses. Like, this was wild.
Flanix positioning.
I think the funniest of that side note is Breezy going mad or taking early morning pictures of his shoes in a gym. I'm like,
just the zapato. I love it. Just the shoe, the foot. You already know where he's at.
2-a-days, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, shout outs to him. Could do it.
But anyways, I personally feel like, similar to what you said, where it depends what people want out of a relationship, I think it also depends what the relationship is. Are we talking about people that live together and have, like, their stake in this relationship, or are we talking about just
dating?
People that are dating? Because I think those two things get toxic in very different ways.
And I like how you flip the toxic on the you wanting to fix somebody is also a toxic trait. Because I didn't look at it like that.
Be viewed as very toxic.
There's people that don't want to be fixed that are just fine the way they are, and some people got nothing wrong with them. Some people just want them to be a different way, and it's like, that's a horrible. I have a friend that, one of the best people I know, he always ends up with somebody that wants him to be away, and it's this I always feel bad. I'm like, just get rid of these people. Like, but it's always, he's always like pigeonholed into this behavior. And I'm like, he looks like one of those people that are gonna explode in a grocery store one day and just go on a rampage. Like, because you know what I mean. His feelings are so repressed in these relationships. I couldn't be in a situation like that. But.
I don't know. Every day I fight myself on this podcast to not say who. Every time y'all say something, I wanted to say who, and I was like, fuck, I'll
That
just
should tell you that you're just a nosy bastard. Because knowing who changes nothing. You just want to know. Just stop.
I just want a name. But no, yeah, that's crazy though, because you trying to help somebody is definitely toxic when they don't want your help. That is, damn, I never looked at it that way either. Because I would like to help somebody, but at some point I'm like, I'm good. There's a limit. But that's crazy. People don't know their limits.
The messed up part is sometimes even the person who's going hard to fix somebody, they're only doing it because the other person, they seemed receptive to it. But in reality, they're not. They were just playing nice. And like Doughy said, somebody wasn't clear on the expectations and things spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Like,
because like, who doesn't want to, if somebody's like showing you, hey, you can be better, who doesn't want to be receptive to that? Like, you're trying to be, especially when you're dating somebody, you're trying not to show your ass. Like, you're like, I'm not gonna smoke weed 7 days a week. Yeah.
Because 7 days a week, every day.
I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, masturbate 2 times a day. Yeah.
That's peace. But yeah, people definitely do change up. It's the switch when you're first dating somebody or whatever. But like Pucho said, if you're already established and you live together,
Got more to lose.
That change? Yeah, like now it's like, okay, do I try to change my wife or change somebody I've been with for 5 or 6 years or even 3 years? Like, how do you go about doing that then? Is that more of a sit-down conversation and be like, hey, listen, this bothers me. Can you fix this? Yes or no? If it says no, well, then you break up, I guess.
Either that or you live with it and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to have to live with. You know what I mean? And then just be okay with it. Because that's also not a wrong thing to do either. If
that's
it's something
toxic too, though.
If it's something small, yeah, for sure. In some ways it is. If you're telling somebody, hey, this bothers me, and they're saying, well, you're just gonna have to live with it. That's just
self-toxic.
You know what I mean? That's a very selfish thing to say. But I think there are boundaries in relationships. And I think you should have a point where you say, hey, you're reaching too far. I'll give you this, but I can't give you that. You know what I mean? I think it's safe to do that as well. And it's got to be compromised because no person is going to be 100% compatible with each other. That's not going to be the case. Unless you have someone that's unhealthy and they're like super cool with getting the short end of the stick all the time. But not a lot of people are like that. And then those people you got to be very careful with because who the fuck is okay with getting the short end of the stick? Like, you got to think about that. Like, this person might not be right in the head. I don't know. I think it's tough. And I think relationships I think if you go into it in the mindset where, hey, you know, I may have to change a little bit of who I am. I may have to smoke instead of an ounce of weed a month, maybe half an ounce. Like, maybe I should start like cutting back. Because, you know, it might not look great to a person if you have to get stoned all the time. I think happiness should also come and, you know, from that person. I think, you know, also some people may need help if you have an addict for a boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's a whole different story.
Well, if you see the red flags at the beginning, then you know you should just be like, gotta go. Can't do this. This is too much.
It could be either for you or not for you. You know what I mean? Some people like doing drugs, and you know they'll rock out with somebody that does that. So
what about for people in a real relationship, living together, you know, playing house or whatever? Like for me, I feel like the number one thing that makes these relationships go bad, and I actually saw these like the red pillars kind of making fun of this, but it's chores. Like when one person's doing mad chores and the other person isn't, that's like the number one thing that makes relationships fall apart. Is somebody just washing the dishes, cooking the clothes,
Yep.
taking care, cooking the clothes, cooking the food, washing clothes, doing laundry, folding clothes, doing all of that stuff, and the other person is just like just chilling. Especially if you add the fact that sometimes those guys are making less money than their partners, so it's like they ain't bringing the money, all the things that are typically like a man needs to do. Not only is it not enough in today's age, even if you do most of those, if you fail on a few of those, it's not even like this relationship ain't gonna work unless you start picking up the slack elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of men, the rug got pulled from under them, and they don't know like where they sit in a relationship now, because men are typically not the breadwinners in the house anymore. So I think we are trying to like adjust, but we're not adjusting fast enough. So I think we do have to think about it in a different way. Like, I need to pick up around the house a little bit more? Do I need to be a little more conscious in my relationship, and where do I fit in this relationship? What is that face, Tony?
Nothing. I think that the pulling the rug from the guy, and that just goes back to the communication part. Like, if you're not really telling them, hey, this is like, I've been asking you this, or I've been telling you to do this, and you haven't, then there's probably factors on why that person doesn't want to do it. There's got to be, like, other than just the obvious, oh, he just lazy or not wanting to, there's got to be a reasoning why.
But before, women used to deal with it, like our grandparents and stuff like that. Like, women, it was just, they had to do that. Nowadays, women don't have to deal with that. They can leave you if they don't want that. It's done.
Yeah, because in the relationships, like, the man gives the woman, like, in a way, like, men always had to do work to provide for the woman. It would never be the woman do the work and provide for the man. That doesn't really exist right now.
That is our reality in actuality. That's where almost...
What were you just saying? It sounded like you said opposite of the reality.
No, I'm saying that what it is right now is that women are not... If women are doing all the providing and their partner is not, like, making the bread, or is not the breadwinner, or they don't want to provide for them, they'll just leave. They'll be like, nah, I don't. Why do I gotta help you out or provide for you? When in the man doing it, it's like the man got to do it for their woman or their lady or their partner.
I don't know. I know plenty of women that are with broke ass dudes. Like, I don't know if it's the case that anytime a woman makes more money than a man, they're just like, this relationship is over.
But it's
is
in
that
their
what
mindset.
You're saying?
No, I'm trying to say, like, in their mindset, like, a woman is not, if they're the winner, the breadwinner, whatever, and they're talking to a guy or just like, their mindset is not like, okay, what can I do for this guy? Versus when a guy makes the money, he's like, okay, I'll bring her in. She don't really got to work if she don't have to. Like, I'll support, or like, I'll do this. But if it's the other way around, they don't look at it like that.
I don't know any dudes that's trying to provide for women like that.
No, there's a bunch of guys that wouldn't, like,
that are like, I don't want my woman to work. No, like
if they have an option. No, if they have an option, like, I'd rather have you stay at home, be a stay-at-home mom and stuff like that.
I've seen that, but I haven't seen that really. Like, I've seen that. I've seen people take a break from the professional to have children in a professional setting where people make a lot of money. But I've never seen it like, these people usually get back to going to work and they get nannies or they get babysitters or, daycare, stuff like that. Like, usually people don't stop their profession to do that.
I wouldn't mind if my partner wanted to, like, I wouldn't mind providing everything for them to be a stay-at-home parent or be a housewife. Like, I wouldn't mind that.
But if she was making more money than you, that wouldn't be the you know what I mean?
I think if she was making more money than me and I was the house dad, they won't. It's like they want. They'll be like, nah. Like
I've seen that happen. I don't. It's not. It's not
I know
always.
people that do it now.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm just saying, like the majority is not. They're not gonna be like, nah. Like
I also
not providing
don't
for
know
you.
if I could, be comfortable in that situation, not making money, and I'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that we're raised and the way that we're conditioned, that yeah, it's far more normal for a man to work and a woman to not work than the opposite. Than like I know enough. I know there are enough relationships that are like a man's working and a woman isn't. Like a job, right? I don't know that many of like a stay-at-home dad relationships. That's just not that common. I think that's just more of just like a societally how we're raised and all that kind of stuff. We're still transitioning from the old world where women didn't work ever. So I don't know. I think in the future it will be more common to see more stay-at-home dads. I mean, if people could afford having one income, that's the other problem. That in today's age, people just can't afford a single income. Like,
No, yeah, you're right. That's definitely the case right now. It's crazy. But back to the topic. Yeah, toxic. Some people do like the toxic though. Like I think that's more of based more on like the sexual side of the relationship.
toxic
I guess.
is fun.
Yeah.
toxic can be a lot of fun. It could take you down some roads that you've never been before, some wild excursions. All right,
Are you willing to share some
things
of these
that you could get
excursions?
arrested for if they ever found out. You know what I mean?
All right. Are we talking like sex? Like what? Like.
No, I'm more just bothered by you. Do you have something you want to share? I think if he wanted to share it, he would have shared it. What
I'm
is
trying
it?
to edge him to share it. Like, just share it with me. Like, it seemed like he wanted
I'm
to.
saying-
Acting like, what is this, Ricky Lake? Like he's just trying to pry into this guy's mind. Like, what are the
funny.
more was it? But Montel had a
Montel,
show.
Ricky Lake.
Montel would get it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell,
Classic
Montel beat
shows.
cancer or some shit like that. I think he beat AIDS or something. Or no, he's like really terminally ill. It's either one. Shout out to Montel.
Every time you say Montel, I think of Montel Jordan, like the
Was it?
singer R&B guy. I don't think it's the same Montel.
Montel's black, bald man. He used to.
I know, but there's
have a
also an
show.
R&B artist. I don't think it's all right. Whatever. But yeah, I think toxic could definitely be fun, for sure. I know a couple toxic couples, and it's always a blast watching them operate, or interactions with each other. I just sit back and I find it. I enjoy it. It's honestly like
I could tell you're nosy. I think like you just
I
enjoy
don't know.
that.
I don't think it's the nosiness of it. I just think of how. Shut the. Y'all make me sick.
Who you talking about?
Whatever. Y'all some.
That he was fucking with. Who? Do I know her? It sounds like I know her.
Anyways, man, my next topic for y'all boys, little bit lighter subject for sure. Best gaming developers or best gaming developing company out right now when it comes as of like from indies all the way to AAA games. Like, what dev group has been holding it down, or what dev group haven't been holding it down? Pooch, do you want to give out maybe?
There's a lot of devs that have been holding it down, right? Like for years, anything Kojima would have dropped, I'm like automatically interested in whatever project they're working on. I mean, and I say whatever project, because I also think there's a difference, right? Like if we're talking game devs and game series, you know what I mean? like Metal Gear, I'm just automatically interested no matter what. Like even now that Kojima's not involved with Metal Gear, if Konami went to go make a Metal Gear game, I'll have a lot of negative feelings about it, but I think I would still be optimistic that it could be good, and I would still try to check it out.
What happened to Metal Gear Survivor with me?
It was not good. Like, I was interested. I wasn't. They had my attention. They did not have my interest.
So you think Metal Gear was good because of Konami, not because of Kojima?
No, that's not at all what I said. I think it was good because of Kojima.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I just love the series. So even though Kojima's not involved with it, if they made another game, they would have my attention.
Okay.
I would pay attention. I'd be interested. I would hope that it's good. I would want to play. I would still have all these positive feelings. I would also have a lot of negative feelings. Like, is this going to be good? Kojima's not involved. What is the other guy? Yoji Shinkawa, who did all like the concept art and stuff like that. Those cool like Metal Gear illustrations. Like all those things are not going to be involved. So like, of course I'm going to have negative feelings about it. I would still hope it's good. But developer wise, yeah, Kojima Productions, like old and new, all the Metal Gear games, all that stuff. Death Stranding 1. What a bizarre game. I platinumed it. I enjoyed it. I beat the hell out of that game. And I'm a little disappointed they're making Death Stranding 2 because I'm like, I don't know where they could take this. Like, what, we're still going to be delivering packages? I feel like they can't make us deliver packages again. The world's connected. We're done. We got to do something else now.
No, facts. If you're right, if we really truly connected the world, then there has to be the next level. They can't just give us a stupid ass highway to build again.
Yo, that game made me sick. I built in my world, I built 90% of that road. Not one help from anybody. I spent my first 3 weeks just building the road. Then I went into zip lines. Not one help.
I think the worst part about that is that I wish we could have gotten into each other's world. It was like very small ways you could have connected people, and it sucked. It was like I felt disconnected in that way in a game about connecting each other.
Well, they want you to connect with other than your, I guess, friends, I guess, right? Like, the whole point is connecting with new people.
It has like a weak ass multiplayer aspect to it. It's so weak. Hi.
Well,
you could
if
just.
I had to pick.
All right. You ever played Journey?
Yes, that's so cool.
Journey's like this super, super, super simple game. You play as just like this kind of nomad person, and you're just trying to get to this mountain.
You're like a floating soda can. You're just like
you're like a floating soda can, and you're just like floating through the world. And on occasion, you'll meet people. Like I shouldn't even call them people. You'll bump into other characters that look like you.
Oh yeah,
and you look at them. There's no indication that there's a person playing this game, but you're looking at them and you're like, something about the way you're playing is like a little bit too human. Like there's something interesting about what they're doing. They're interested in random things, and I'm just like, whatever. And you just assume it's an AI, but because the game doesn't tell you it's a multiplayer or anything like that. You just play through this game. At the end of the game, they hit you, and then you'll have people that'll tag along with you, and you guys run through the game for so long together. Sometimes they'll run off and do things, and you wait for them, or they'll wait for you, and there's just the game isn't telling you to do any of this. At the end, when it rolls credits, it shows you all the people you met along this journey, and that's such a magical feeling. You're like, holy crap, I was playing with other people this whole time, and the game was just seamlessly dropping them in and out. Like, that experience was so much cooler than playing the game with my friend. Even though I would love to play that game with my friend, it just wouldn't have the impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's another dev, that game company. They can make anything. I'm going to check it out. They have that game, Flower, Journey, and Flow. Flower and Flow could go...
Fuck a goat.
You know what I'm saying? They were okay. They were beautiful experiences, all that stuff. Journey was something special, and I'm looking forward to them making something else like that.
What's the dev's name again?
They're called That Game Company.
That gaming company? Wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know. This is the first time I ever heard of them. So, I mean, so my question is, right, Konami, do you think Naughty Dog will be, as a devs group, better than them overall?
They are.
Even though Metal Gear is like one of your favorite game series and all that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, just look at the track record. Like,
yeah, I guess you're right.
Naughty
I mean,
Dog got 4 Uncharted games, 2 The Last of Us games.
I mean, Last of Us is definitely the marker, but Uncharted kind of just flatline after 2, 3.
I would say 1 and 2 are the best.
Yeah. I think 2 and 4 are the best, but I loved Uncharted 4.
I didn't like the pacing of the game. I felt like it was very long. It was okay. I just felt like even getting to the point of the story, I felt like part 3 had a very hard time. It made you do like this very long tutorial. And I was like, I don't want to play as this kid version of Drake. And it just goes on for too long. And I feel like there's some parts in part 4, although it's a good game, I just think part 1 and part 2 had like special moments.
So taking out series, let's take series of games out of these devs, right? Let's just base them off of just consistency of making good quality games.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think Nintendo is number 1 in that?
No, they've fallen off.
What consistency of making quality games?
I think all their sports games recently have been fucking ass. I think they have some good titles under their belt, and I think they show that they can do, but I think they're spread too thin or something like that, because some of these games are just not hitting like they're supposed to.
What were you gonna say? What was yours?
I think Nintendo at their peak, you can't deny they're like one of the best developers. At their peak, you take all the best Switch games that they produced and you think it's crazy, but then if you look at all the other games combined, it's like it's kind of hit or miss. Like, we know their big series are going to be good, but when the last Zelda game came out, when? I think 2017. I think it's been 6 years since Breath of the Wild.
Really?
I want to say. I could be tripping.
I think he's right.
And Odyssey has been probably just as long. Maybe a little less long, like, you know. But, like, those are 2 series. I'm like, when the hell is the next Mario game coming out? Obviously, Zelda comes out, I think, in June. So, and it's going to be awesome.
Next month.
It may. I can't wait. I honestly,
you're super psyched for it?
Yeah, I literally just can't wait.
I pre-ordered it. I didn't even beat the last game, which I need to do.
2017. Correct, 2017.
So yeah, look, it's been 6 years since Zelda came out. It's like, in those 6 years, what has Nintendo dropped that I'm like really wanted to play? There was Mario Odyssey and the Kirby game that came out. Those are good. Aside from those those games, I'm like, there's nothing. They haven't made nothing.
I didn't realize that Bayonetta 2 dropped on the Wii U, and I was like, this is a Wii U game. This isn't even a Switch game. A lot of games on the Switch aren't like Switch games. They're just Wii U ports.
So what was your
so many
your non-series dev choice?
That people who made Enter the Gungeon, I really can't wait to see what they're gonna do next. Because
so you're saying consistently them are like you would put them up there as
I would say
great
developers. Yeah, I would say those people. But I would say like what would you call those people? The people who like are the big money, like Devolver. They make a lot of interesting games. And if I was gonna put my money on anybody, I'd probably put my money on them to like make the most interesting games in like for the near future.
I would say Rockstar over them.
Well, yeah, that's
Rockstar
like the safe
consistently better quality games.
I think
I don't know. Rockstar's another one that I'm like, yeah, they have the capability to make some of the most incredible gaming experiences
Red Dead 2
in the world, and they just don't.
Red Dead 2 is incredible.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is the last game they dropped. When did that game come out? Like 2019?
No way. It's like 2017, maybe 2018. I think even maybe 2016.
Rockstar just doesn't produce enough. I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 came out 2019, but
2018, the 26th
okay.
of October.
so like that's their last game. It's been 5 years since they made a game.
It's been
That
it's been 10
anybody-
years for the last Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, 10 years since the last Grand Theft Auto. I'm with you. There was a point in time. It's like your boy George R. R. Martin, okay? In like 4 years, he dropped 3 books. And then in the next like 20 years, he dropped 2 books. So it's like Rockstar hit us with that. They hit us with GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 4 in a span of like 6 years.
And
we got all those
The
crazy games.
PSP titles.
And the PSP titles are in there.
Chinatown Wars.
The Chinatown Wars on the GBA was in there. And all those games were good.
And then before that, they were making like other games like Smuggler's Run and fucking they the first Red Dead game so it was a lot. They
Red Dead Revolver. They had the
Max
Smuggler's
Payne
Run.
3. And
Yeah,
there's
Max Payne 3.
Yep.
They had State of Emergency. That game was a headache waiting to happen.
So
That game was so
It was
much.
dope, though.
But it was interesting at the time on a PS2 game. I was like, all right, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Manhunt.
Yeah.
Right, Rockstar had their hands. They were doing publishing, developing. Oh my, like the Warriors. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
Like they just
yeah.
had so many interesting things, and it seemed like after the release of GTA 4, they were like, we're officially the GTA and Red Dead Redemption company. And GTA 4 came out, I think it was 2008. Since 2008, they've released 2 games.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fucking wild.
Right? No, Red Dead Redemption probably came out 2009.
Yeah, it's still in
I'll give them that. Since Red Dead Redemption came out, we're sitting on like 15 years of them making 2 games. It's like I love Rockstar games. Like whenever they make the GTA game, even though I didn't like GTA 5 and I didn't really like GTA 4, I'm still gonna buy GTA. Like they own me still.
Yeah.
Not they don't own me, but like I
need
They
to
gotta
see
hold on.
what
they
do
have
next.
some allegiance. I don't know, man. Those old experiences were so good that I'm gonna tune in.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I love Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing.
But it's
GTA.
not without its faults, in my opinion. I think some parts of that game are way too animated, and I'm like, this over realistic world they try to create sometimes brings the gameplay back. I would like.
I felt like that more strongly on my first playthrough. I recently played through the game. I don't know if recent updates have addressed some of these feelings.
It's a possibility.
But I had way less. I never got off my horse to brush him on the second playthrough. But I remember doing that all the time and being so pissed off about it. I think by now when I replayed it, I was already fed up with the. I don't give a damn if the icon's going off. I'm not brushing this horse. Like,
I do think that GTA 5 was probably one of from Rockstar, one of their biggest like money makers.
Yeah, obviously. Once
that's why-
online came out for PS4 and they started making billions upon billions
That's why I
upon
think they
billions of
slowed off.
dollars.
sir, I believe you mean PS3.
Oh, that's right. It started on PS3.
That's how old that game
It started
is.
on PS3. That's right. The online started on PS3, and then
So ridiculous.
they ended the live service for PS3 like a few years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe that's why they haven't been put out because they just hit so much capital. They're just like,
For sure.
but that's why GTA
100
6
that's
gonna
100%.
blow it out of the park though.
How do you guys?
That's why I'm not that excited for GTA 6 because
I am super
I already know
excited.
they're making a game with the primary focus of how do we make an online that's going to rake in an infinite amount of cash, which is good for them and is good for whoever loves the GTA Online.
But the
I
story
haven't
mode-
liked Red Dead Online. I didn't like GTA Online. I haven't liked any of these things. So it just doesn't interest me.
How do you guys
I
feel
do.
about fucking Ubi trash?
I mean, Ubisoft put out some. This is the problem. They're not consistent with quality. But I mean, Assassin's Creed series is nasty,
Fucking
right? Like,
trash. What? You want to play that?
Division?
You're waiting for the next.
Assassin's Creed ain't trash. You tripping?
Dude,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey was good.
It was decent.
And Assassin's Creed Valhalla was good. They're both good games. Too long, too packed, too repetitive throughout.
Too much, yeah.
That's always the problem with Ubisoft games. You start off the game and you're hooked for like a day or two. And then you realize I'm doing the same thing over and over. And in fact, I'm doing the same thing I've done in the other 20 Ubisoft games that have come out.
And not to
But
mention,
you saying all that Ubi trash, you've been hounding me to play Far Cry.
Oh, now I can't. The Yankee, they got me. Hong Rong,
Yankee.
Yankee, they got me on a grip. All right.
not even that. We were all held in platinum division.
That was a good time. Talk about a
Hey,
game.
fucker! That's all I can hear Pucho screaming, bro.
That
She was-
game-
Ultimate bleep there. The yeah,
Facts.
you might call him Ubi trash. I wouldn't call him Ubi trash because Assassin's Creed as a series is good. Very problematic with the repetitiveness, all that stuff, but it's good. Far Cry as a series, good. The Division as a series is good.
Splinter Cell, one of my favorites back in the day. I know y'all hate it, but I love that.
I watched the
game,
video
bro.
recently that showed
don't.
how different the original Xbox series was to the PS2, because the Xbox was originally stronger than the PS2, so they can make bigger maps and bigger levels, and like the PS2 version is like nowhere better. It's like they had to redo the levels. It's like a hot mess.
I would say if I had to guess Joe's favorite developing company, it would be Valve. For sure.
For me, there was a time for sure.
Oh, not no
That-
more, you don't think?
No.
Well-
What has Valve made?
I mean, well, just overall, like you got Half-Life, you have Fortress.
Sorry. What have they made in the last 20 years?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
Last of
sorry,
Us?
maybe 20 years
No,
is a
they
stretch.
said, no, I'm tripping.
After
Last of Us.
Portal 2, they came out with Counter-Strike. I don't care about Counter-Strike. They came out with Half-Life Alyx, a VR game. I don't care about that. It's just like they just don't make anything anymore.
They just made
But, like,
a mod to play that without VR, and I really am interested. That you can play it like
I'm
a
interested.
regular
Everybody
Half-Life.
says it's trash. The game is too easy.
Okay, I see.
That like the
Well-
way the game is designed is for VR.
I see.
And when you remove the VR thing, you're just boom, boom, boom. You're just killing everybody like that. It's like there's just no
I
challenge.
see.
Like, but I was interested. Half-Life Alyx, I was interested in it. I was bummed out it was a VR game. Yeah, Valve, just like you said for GTA, right? Valve is a company that, like, they owned me. Like, I was like, they got me. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna play all the games they drop. I'm gonna play them. And then they made Steam, right? That's Valve. Valve created this online portal for purchasing games, and they make so much money on Steam. They just don't make games anymore. They're a company. They're a Steam company. They just make money by getting a way for people to buy games. That's it. They're a store. And it's like, whatever, that works for them. It's a shame that the people that made Half-Life 1, 2, the 2 episodes, Portal 1 and 2, Team Fortress 2, like the company that pumped those incredible games out just don't make games like that. That's just depressing to me.
And apparently anyone can start it if they want to, but I guess there's just nobody wants to do it there. If that's not what the company is like praising people for, what's the point?
Yeah, Valve has they allegedly have a flat business structure. So there's the CEO and then everybody else. They don't have like managers or anything like that. So anybody could come into work one day and be like, oh, we're going to create this game. I have this idea, blah, blah. They have to do a game pitch. And if people like the pitch, they'll jump on that person's team and they'll go and make that game.
That's wild.
So they don't know, the company is not telling anybody to do anything. I find it hard to believe because the majority of people that try to get a job at Valve are the people that are passionate about Valve games. It's interesting they all go there and nobody wants to make any Valve games. Like, where's Portal 3? Oh my, Portal 2 is so good. It's like how that game came out, I think like 2012.
I mean, the fact that Team Fortress 3 hasn't come out, they're now just doing a Counter-Strike 2, which is It's not surprising because it's one of the most played games on Steam. So it's not surprising that this is the game that they're gonna make another version of. But it just kind of sucks. I'm super excited for Counter-Strike 2. I think it's the game that's gonna bring me back to the series, and I'm super excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. I heard that shit and I saw Valve is doing something. I said, yay!
I felt like that too, but it just looks like it looks just like a texture swap.
No,
It's like
it's
almost
good. The smoke.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
seen the smoke
fine
features?
for you. Nothing about it interests me. Yeah, it just looks like they just remastered the game. It's not even a remaster. They just put like updated textures. Like
There's no more
like the game has to play. The game has to play the same, or else nobody's gonna want to play it.
There are certain things that held the game back, like tick rates and all that stuff. And this game is supposedly not supposed to have any of those issues. So your internet speed is not going to be holding you back like before. And apparently, like the hitboxes are right, and they promise a lot. All right, I'm just excited. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing like the way that they're redoing some of these maps, and a lot of the classic maps are staying the same. I'm just excited. I think this is gonna be a new age for me of Counter-Strike, but I would like to see that with Team Fortress 3. I mean, I don't see why not. That's also like one of the second or third most played games. Valve has like the top games in their fucking top 10. They got Dota 2, which is huge. Like Dota, it's not my style of game. It's like a League of Legends, but they have a lot of games on the top list of their own gaming fucking Steam shit, whatever you want to call this.
Yeah, but Dota don't count. If I recall correctly, Dota was made by a group of people and they just like bought them out. Okay. And I think those guys still operate kind of on their own type of deal. I don't think they're like, I'm sure people in Valve are working on Dota, but yeah. I don't think it's the same like a homegrown game. I don't know. I want y'all to make something. One of my favorite, Tony's right. One of my favorite developers. If I see Valve is making a game, I'm gonna buy it. Like almost guaranteed. Like they're gonna drop a new game, I'm gonna play it. But there's a couple devs though, like Supergiant, the guys who made Hades, Bastion, Transistor. There's two other games there that I'm missing. There's that soccer sports one. I even bought that one. Didn't like it too. Pyre. I didn't like it that much. Any game they're coming out with, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah. Guaranteed. John Blow. This guy's only made 2 games. Braid in 2008 and The Witness in like 2015 or something. 2016. Are they both good games? I love both of those games. In retrospect, Braid is okay. It was amazing for the time, the indie game stuff, all that stuff. The Witness is like my favorite puzzle game ever though. He's working on another puzzle game. I'm gonna buy it. He just takes so long to drop a game. He drops a game like once a decade. Like,
is he by himself, or his team small?
Well, he was by himself, and he slowly like built up a team. He was by himself on Braid. He had a small team for The Witness. He has a bigger team on this one. But I don't know. They just make stuff so. Lucas Pope, okay, this is the guy who made Papers, Please. I don't know if you remember that game.
Good game.
And he also made Return of the Obra Dinn. Incredible.
That's that game that's like just black and white, right?
It's like, yeah, it's just black and white, and it's like this murder mystery. You got to figure out how everybody dies. There's like 147 characters in the game that all died, and you have to figure out who the people are, how they die, and something else about them. There's like 3 things you got to figure out. Oh, what they got killed with, and who killed them.
That's like some Guess Who shit. Like
board
game.
Incredible.
I never played
Concerned Ape. Stardew Valley, you know. Right. The only game they made, right? As far as I'm aware. Whatever they make next, I'm for it. Maddie makes games. Celeste and Towerfall. Okay. Celeste, though, probably my favorite platformer ever. So if any of these people make a game, I'm going to get it. They're going to have to fuck up enough times for me to just stop tuning.
I guess I have some honorable mentions. The people that made Lonely Mountains Downhill, they made a game that feels like riding a bicycle. I don't know how they
Is that
did
the
it.
phone one? The app on the phone?
No, it's like a
No?
PS4, PS5 game.
Oh.
But is you just ride down a mountain on a bike, and it's one of the coolest games I've ever played. It's so simple, and it's just you riding a bike down a mountain, and it's so fucking fun. The people who made the Slay the Spire game, obviously, all these card games that I enjoy playing, I'm super into that. Creaton, if they make a racing game, I'm probably gonna check it out. The people who made like Burnout,
okay.
the Burnout series and stuff like that. Even the Deep Rock Galactic guys, whatever they make next, they can get the. You know who disappointed me? Team Ninja. Ugh. After
Ninja.
Neo 1 and Neo 2, and I'm just done. This Wulong dick. I'm not
that game
into
looks
it.
cool. I don't think I would ever buy it, but it looks cool.
I don't know.
The graphics look amazing.
The people who made Undercooked, if they ever make a Undercooked 3 or something else, like I'm there.
What devs group did that come from? What was the name of them?
But they are.
What is it? Team 17?
Oh, that's right. You can't. You're my Team 17 homie.
The T17 homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could I Overcooked is so good. I cannot wait for them to make something else.
Yeah. The chaos.
I can't wait to hit Doughy with a bombardment of T17 invites. Okay.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm also patiently waiting for a new Katamari Damacy game, but that's about it.
So, switching it over, should vehicles just have automatic safety measures when it comes to phones being used in a car? Should there be like if you're driving with a phone, it automatically just shut it off and won't let you use it, only receive or make calls? What do you guys think? That good to have, or should it be?
I think it's good and bad. There's times where I find myself trying to figure out ways to bypass the safety features, but I mean, I think it's probably largely a good thing. Right, the majority of accidents happen because some amount of attention isn't being paid, either because you're drinking or you're too sleepy or you're looking at your phone. But like, you need to pay attention to drive. These are like machines that could kill people, and yeah, we should make it difficult for people to do bad things, I think.
I pulled out my phone for the first time riding a moped tonight. I almost slammed into the back of a van. I was like, oh my God, this is way more serious than I ever thought. It was the first time I had ever done it. I was like, no, this song sucks. I'm going to pick another song from a different playlist. And I literally almost ran into the back of a fucking van. I was like, and it was literally like 2 seconds I took away from the road.
That's sick.
I woke up.
Yeah, you have to master the peripheral vision. You gotta like keep looking forward, and you gotta bring the phone just within your periffs so that you could kind of like operate. You're kind of flying blind a little bit, but yeah, nah. There's times where I be looking at I don't ever be on my phone when I'm driving. It's very rare. But on occasion, I'll like switch a song or something. That's really 99% of the time I look at my phone in a car is to Spotify. And I try my best at a red light, or if we're going really slow, or like if there's no traffic in front of me, then I could feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, I found myself looking at my phone and drifting out of my lane, or getting a little too close to the car in front of me. Like, it's a very dangerous thing to be doing. Like,
Facts.
No, yeah. Would you agree then that they should just automatically put it in the car forcefully and you are not able to remove it, or you think you should be able to have that freedom to have the option?
I think
I think you need to have the freedom. There's gonna be situations that like I don't know. What if you're driving and something terrible happens? You got to call 911 and your car's locking you out.
No, you can make calls and like you can receive and make calls. Like you can say, "Hey, Siri," or
Sorry,
"Hey."
it sounded
whoever.
like you just said, should you be locked out from using your phone?
Well, locked out, but I mean like being able to text message, read text messages, or go on social media apps. I'm just saying your phone can only be used to receive the call, or you can voice activate a call like, "Hey, call mother," call 911, like that. Other than that, you can't use your phone for anything. Like should that be a forced thing? Like each vehicle needs to have it.
I mean, it would. All right. So I have a big issue with cars, period, because so many people die every year from cars, from people not paying attention. We're set to have the most dangerous year for cyclists in New York. There's already so many people that have died, and we're only in April. So, especially in New York, you can get squished by a truck. Nobody will see a day in fucking in jail. Recently, a guy got smushed by a big old USPS. The big boys. He got smushed. It didn't look for him. They took a right turn, smushed him. That guy got $1,000 fine, and he has to go take a driving course. And it's like, yo, that's really the fine for like death? Like you murder somebody and that's all you got? Like the wife was crying outside the courthouse. She's like couldn't believe it. But I think there's like a serious issue with holding people accountable while they're driving, making sure they're paying attention. If I think there should be like a camera in your car that like diagnoses if you're tired, like, hey, you look tired. You should maybe try to go to sleep soon or stuff like that. You don't look like you should be driving right now. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
I have a coworker who, at my job, we got a truck from another branch or whatever, and it's GPS loaded to the T. I'm talking about 2 different cameras, one facing outward to cars, one facing you, with a microphone, and it's embedded into the truck so it knows how fast you're going, how fast you're turning you're making U-turns or whatever, the G-force and everything. This guy got like emails with his recorded voice and everything of him driving because he made a turn too tight. And it would record everything. He said, "Bro, where's the privacy? Like, it just automatically records my audio, this, and that, and the third." I'm like, well, you were going like 30 miles an hour, and then you did a sharp turn to make a U-turn. That's mad dangerous. Like, it's actually, and he, after a while, he was just like, bro, this is invading privacy. Like, anything I do, I can't shift the lane without hitting the signal light. I can't do this. And it kind of took me back to like, that's a good thing. I think it's good that you're getting caught by improperly driving. Like, you should use your signal lights. You should brake. You shouldn't go 60 and then hit the brakes and then, you know what I mean? Like, that's all causes accidents. So I was like, I'm in the side
It's
of
interesting
like, yeah.
that you feel this way about this and not about weapons. It's weird. I'm like, all right, you should be this way about guns too.
But how can you can't control? That's a whole different. That's nowhere near the same.
You can't. It's uncontrollable. The guns, they walk out of the stores.
You could be like the Watchman, where the cop couldn't even take the gun out the holster until someone
the fat guy.
No, he wasn't fat.
He was a fat guy with like a.
He was a
like,
he was
like
a big
dog
guy
or something like that. He had like a dog.
He was a
costume on.
He was a fat dog guy. Yeah, he had a costume.
And everybody hated him. And nobody liked him.
Nobody.
What
yeah.
I'm talking about in the intro scene of The Watchmen.
The guy who was...
It's a black man in the car trying to get his gun out, and some white man just sprays the whip up.
Well, he's asking the person, and the person is who's supposed to unlock the gun for him. That's
the
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I wasn't clear on. Yeah. That didn't. All those animals, that made zero sense.
Yeah.
It was mad animals. But anyways, that's what Tony should want. Is this world where all our guns are locked until someone's breaking in my house. I need to grab my gun. Sir, are you in danger? Yeah, I can see. Do they have a weapon on them? I don't know. They're on the other side of the door. Find out if they have a weapon on them before. You're like, huh? What? Like,
See, that
that sounds horrifying, to be honest. Like,
way different.
What about if it was like
think
Judge Dredd? You fucking touch their gun and fucking blows your arm.
I do. So you guys wouldn't be in the camp for that though? Like that car having 100% power over, or like it's just reporting everything to your insurance company. Be like, hey, this guy's driving like crazy. Like raise his bill up because he's just not.
I don't know what the answer is to get people to drive safer. The only thing I could think of is restricting the car. That's all I could think of. Why does a car need to do 120? Why can't everybody just go like 80 max, 90 maybe?
I'm with Doughy. My car could hit like 160 miles an hour for no reason.
For what? Like,
Damn, that's throttling. Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah,
160
that's a
on the
valid
Doughy?
point. But I mean, what if you get like a Lambo?
You ever been in a car going that fast?
It looks like
It does not
weird.
feel good.
120 is the max for me.
I had a friend who lived in Port St. Lucie for a little while, but they basically still lived in Palm Beach. They used to hit this trip every day, pretty much. It's like an hour drive to and from. The most reckless drivers you'll ever know are people that have to commute a long distance regularly. Like people who got to drive an hour like every day. These are the craziest drivers in the world. These people would just be like, oh, time to drive over there. Well, I'm going to hit $140 because I just want to minimize how you're being in this little car. And we talking about a hoopty. This thing could fall apart if you just blow on this thing. Hitting 140. Yo, the other cars are coming at you so fast. It is not a good feeling. It is very scary. Yeah, cars don't need to go that fast.
I would agree with you guys for certain cars, not all cars. Like
I don't like unless it's a race car. I don't think a car needs to go that fast.
if I buy a Lambo, I don't want to be throttled at 80 miles an hour. Like.
I think you should be throttled at whatever is an appropriate speed. I don't know why you need to go faster, but
yeah, that I mean, I understand the want to go fast, but I think you have to be in an appropriate setting for it. Like a highway or something. Like something where, you know what I mean, where everyone else is going fast. Because like the German Autobahn is a real thing. Like there's hundreds of miles of where you could just go as fast as you want. And that doesn't have major deaths like you would think. So I think if there were like appropriate places for people to do stuff like that, I think it would be less of a problem. But I think places like New York, I just can't see a use for like people. They drive them out here. They drive fast cars, motorcycles. I live in front of the West Side Highway, so I hear them all the time racing.
Do you imagine a Lambo going $120 in New York City?
They did it during the pandemic. There was a guy who drove around the entire Manhattan. It was like under 20 minutes or something like that. He went over 100 miles and then he got arrested for it because he recorded everything. Yeah, and then so like he had proof that he went this fast around and he broke all these laws. But it was really cool watching it. It's still on the internet, I'm pretty sure.
I still agree that the phones should be like locked in every car automatically.
But what about the passenger? Then their phone gets locked too? Like what type of bullshit is that?
How does the car can't determine passenger's phone versus your phone? I think all phones just need to be cut.
Niggas can't drive your car no more.
That's terrible. You're on like a 20-hour road trip. You're driving to New York City, and the person sitting in the passenger seat, their phone is just cut. They're like, "Welcome to my world." Sit there bored the whole ride. Shit might be kind of good. Sick
Girl
of
start
driving.
conversations.
No
switch it
DJ,
up.
no nothing.
Oh damn! I forgot all about the music play off the phone.
Would
But
be
yeah,
terrible.
Though you brought up a very good point. Throttling cars, that would also save a lot of speed accidents too. Like,
I think if you want to save accidents, right?
Save
if you want
lives.
to minimize the number of accidents and save lives, invest in public transit. It's the biggest thing you could do. Take a place like New York City. The public transit in New York City compared to the rest of America is amazing. Like my uncle doesn't know how to drive a car. And he's lived the whole life riding trains, riding buses, walking. It could be done. But yeah, if we just invested more infrastructure for biking, better infrastructure for trains. Like, yo, I was in Japan for 2 weeks. The train is crazy out there. Like,
yeah,
it's like the New York subway, but immaculately clean. Everything is on schedule. The trains are fast.
Yo.
Like, you could get all over the place fast.
The fastest
Like,
in the world. They timed it from they timed New York. If we would have had these, you're talking about making it downtown in like less than 10 minutes. It's like insanely fast. When that would take you over an hour, like it's just like 45 minutes. It's like super. They're called maglev trains, and they're magnetically levitated on the track. It's fucking insane.
that
I don't
sounds
know
dangerous
much about
as
the
hell.
technology, but it's apparently safer.
It's safer.
But
That's
it does
just-
sound scary.
It sounds really because you're
Just
going
like
like 600
magnets?
miles an hour and shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's
nigga.
some
600.
crazy number like that, 200 or 300. It's some crazy ass number.
I rode the bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto, and it felt crazy because the train goes hundreds of miles an hour, very fast. The whole train got mad windows, and the train's in the middle of the city. It feels bizarre to pass buildings, cars at a speed like that. You're like, it feels like you're gonna crash because you're just in the city and you're seeing all these buildings whizzing by, and it's just something like you don't realize, like, oh, I've never experienced this before. Like being in the middle of a city going that fast. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, investing in public transit is probably would be the most impactful way. Like even our roads suck. Like,
Facts.
you know, building roads in such a way where there's less traffic, less potholes. Florida be raining all the time. These roads are built in such a way where the rain just sits on the road. You got
That's 'cause-
pockets of highway that if you just going too fast, your car will just skid on you on the highway. That's crazy. You just start hydroplaning, like, because the material of the road just doesn't wick the water away. Like,
Yeah, what just happened recently in Fort Lauderdale was fucking wild.
yeah. So I haven't even started looking at that, but I saw there was like this crazy flooding.
Bro,
I don't
the
even know what's
airport
going on.
was flooded. The airport, bro.
Yeah, but like, what happened? It was just the rain that did it.
Yeah, we had like 3 days of rain back to back, almost 4 days back to back of heavy rain nonstop almost all day. And it got to the point like, well, Florida's a sea level state. That thing is at sea level. Florida at some point, like,
Yeah, but like, what was the failure? Like, was it a drainage problem?
it was just too much water. The drainage, they couldn't keep up. Just way too much water. It was
Same
just,
thing is happening over here.
Because I saw people on the internet blaming Ron DeSantis for this.
He's out of the state. He's in Ohio or one of these states, these swing states, trying to campaign for his presidency.
I see. But yeah, I saw people trying to, like, I shouldn't say trying. I'm out of the loop on this. But I saw people blaming Ron DeSantis for what's going on. And I just wasn't sure what his role was. Like, if he recently tried to save some money by cutting back on something and then this backfired. Like, I'm just out of the loop. So
I think he
don't know
has
what's
like
going
the
on.
power to call like a state of emergency and then like send the National Guard to Fort Lauderdale to help out and stuff like that.
And to be honest, I don't think they needed national security or anything like that for the rain. I mean, yeah, cars were floating down the street.
I mean,
like
he
houses.
declared a state of emergency.
So Same thing happened in Buffalo. They thought that the snow wasn't going to be as bad. And then like 30 people died in one day. And then it ended up being like almost 100. It was crazy. And everybody, it was just it was like a snowstorm, but just a really bad one. So like whenever you see anything in like excess, it's going to end up really bad.
Yeah. I don't think, but that's still not his fault for that. Like,
I think it's just you're the governor and you need to be in the state when shit is going down. I've heard every governor get shitted on for this. The guy from Texas, what's that guy that everybody hates? Even the guy, the Donald Trump talked shit about his wife. It's so terrible, and he still ended up fucking promoting Donald Trump.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, Ted Cruz.
Yeah, that's absurd.
He said his wife was ugly or something.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
everybody gets flack for this. Like,
Yeah.
Obama got flack for not responding to certain things in a timely manner. Like, remember when 9/11 happened? George Bush was reading books, children's books in elementary school, and some people like. I think he tried to play it cool, like he finished reading the thing and then he left a little early. But people were like, he should have left that second and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it seems like a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation, to be completely honest. Like, even this Ron DeSantis situation, if what you're saying is he's in some other state campaigning for his, like, presidential bid, and then this happened, it's like, I don't know. I guess he should come back immediately and start doing things, sure. But, like, how's he supposed to know a climate disaster is about to occur? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Facts.
I mean, it's around that time. Like, you ever heard of King's Tide?
This is the worst flooding in 280 years. I don't think he could have known that was going to happen.
I don't know. I think a year or two
This is
ago.
like historic rains. This is a once in 1,000-year rainfall event. Like, it's
like a year or two ago, we had King's Tide hit Miami, flooded.
I'm just telling you what the internet's telling me. Right?
Yeah,
like,
don't believe
you know
everything
about
it says.
King's Tide. I'm just telling you about the amount of rain. It was record setting.
No, it was a lot. Even my branch was like flooded too, to like almost knee high. Nah, well, shin high. Shit was crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us throughout this entirety of this episode, hit that subscribe button, share, like, follow. We're on all social media platforms. We're on Discord. We got a channel. Come in, join, talk with us. Hit it up. And by the way, shout out to all the fans of newly subs. We're doing pretty good right now this year. This year we're on a very good scale. And we appreciate everybody who came out, subbed, and shared, and kept your friends in the loop for joining up, doing up gang. But like always, people, go one up yourself. Peace.